Hey folks, welcome back to Quarantine Conversations with Virginia College Coaches. I'm Brian Hazard from the Virginia Wrestling Association, and today we are fortunate to have the new head coach at the newest program in Virginia, Division III, Roanoke College, the Maroons. And with us today is head coach Nate Yetzer. Nate, welcome. And how things going with your move and with everything going on with Roanoke?
It's going great. I mean, it's been a little bit of a whirlwind the last couple of days. Just put our house up for sale. They can, entertain offers, and it's actually under contract now. And then today we're up in Roanoke and Salem, looking for a place to live and move to, and just be part of the community up there. And so it's been, obviously these times are hectic, and you got to be careful going around. There's obviously, there's a quarantine, and but no, I'm excited to get started. I think there's a lot of great things happening at Roanoke College, and a lot of exciting times. So there's a lot to be excited for, but I feel like a little bit lost a little momentum just with everything going on. It happened kind of right when I took the job. So,
right.
But we're plowing through it and finding ways to reach out to kids and hopefully get them to see what Roanoke College is all about.
Awesome. Well, you've kind of done the East Coast swing. You grew up in Ohio. You wrestled for Edinburgh. You were a 174-pound All-American.
Yep.
You were jacked up back then.
What do you mean back then?
You're lean and mean, man. You were like now, I will tell you, Roby was talking some smack today that he was willing to get after you a little bit back in the day. So I don't know. Tony.
Anyway, Roby was no joke, man. People forget how good he was. I mean, the guys. I mean, really, he had some of the hardest paths to be a national NCAA champion, and obviously lost in the finals, but he lost some really good guys. Obviously this generation, like Ernest Benyon and from Illinois, he was an absolute stud, and I forget, maybe Joe Williams in there too. Obviously 3-time national champ. So people forget how good he was, and but I don't. I still wake up in cold sweats every so often. With that dude clubbing me in the back of the head.
Oh yeah, and we talked about that today. I've had Coach Roby and Coach Gibson. The Edinburgh coaching tree in Virginia right now is crushing it. I mean, we got some serious head coaches from the Fighting Scots.
Yeah, it's been strong.
Yeah, very, very strong. I'm happy to see it. Just Coach Bumgardner and Coach Flynn did amazing things to build you guys into leaders and teach you guys all about that. You got anything else about
Lou Roselli? Lou Roselli was a big part of that too. Yep.
Absolutely, and he's on that tree now down in Oklahoma, so that's a big tree. Yep. So like I said, you wrestled for Edinburgh. Then did you go right to Binghamton from there? Was that your first coaching job?
Yeah, that was my first coaching job. I actually I wanted to get out of wrestling and try something different, so I actually got into sales with a company that was kind of based out near Edinburgh. And did that for about a month, and I really missed wrestling, and kind of decided that I wanted to get back into that, just to see where that I never thought it'd be a career. I just, really missed it, wanted to get into it and just see that side of it. And, I found out, I fell in love with it and enjoyed it. And then I think about about a week after I left the sales job, I moved up to Binghamton. I always give Roby a hard time because I'm like, when he called me, I'm like, how far down the list was I? What am I, your 10th call? You know what I mean? Like, but I was very fortunate that he brought me on board because I learned a lot from him, and obviously got to follow him down to Virginia Tech, which led me to Ferrum, which led me to here. So very blessed.
Right. So 6 years at Tech, and then you took over a program, a brand new program at Ferrum, and did that for 8 years, and you've done amazing work there.
Appreciate it.
So tell me the process of moving to Roanoke from doing such an amazing job at Ferrum. What's the draw?
I think, for me, Ferrum treated me really well. I'm very convinced that we wouldn't have had the success we had without them supporting the program. And so I was very fortunate and very blessed to have them be, help with the program. And administrative support is so important, as you know. And but for me, it was about a new challenge. I've lived here, raised my family here for 8 years, and we always stress to our guys about getting outside their comfort zone and doing something that's hard, and to challenge themselves and make them better people. And I felt like I would have been a hypocrite a little bit when the opportunity presented itself to go to Roanoke College. And And so, I jumped on it. At first I wasn't interested, to be honest with you. I just didn't think they were super serious about being good. And, but then they came back. Scott Allison, who was the athletic director there at Roanoke College, came back to me and essentially, made it very, very hard to turn down. And so here I am now. And I think there's a few things that appealed to me that were, one is just the setting of Roanoke College. It's right connected right down to downtown Salem. And if nobody's ever been there, it's a pretty special place, man. It's a great community and lots to do. And it's, the school's connected right to downtown. So a lot of opportunities for student athletes, their social life, but also, jobs afterwards. So, and the alumni base there is really good, really strong. And the kids that leave there, they do very, very well. I think it's like 96% of the kids that graduate there, within 6 months, they're in their career field, in a meaningful job, which is, that's important. And when you're trying to sell higher education to the kids now, there's got to be a selling point, right? And it just can't be, hey, 4 years, it's going to be a good time. It's got to be what's after that. What the investment you're going to make financially, what's going to be the output of that. And I think, Roanoke College does a really good job of helping with that. So those things really appeal to me. And then the facilities are unbelievable. Some of the best facilities in the country, I think, in Division III. So that was kind of, I guess, the cherry on top when I went and visited campus.
Amazing. So you talked a little bit about the sell of you going there. What's your vision for the program? Obviously, you've done the Division I thing. You've now done the Division III and that model at Ferrum. It's a little bit different model than the Division I model, but what's your vision for this program, maybe even compared to what Ferrum's was?
I think there's a lot of similarities. I think as you get older, winning is obviously really important to me, but I think it's a little less important. The most important thing for me is, I want wrestling to be very important to Roanoke College, meaning that the student athletes that leave there have a lot of success. They get back to the school. They love their experience there, and then they go on to be successful human beings. I think that's the most important thing. Winnings, I think, is a byproduct of that. If you teach them the right things, hold them to a very high standard, and like anybody that's ever wrestled me will tell you, I push hard. I just think kids will rise to the level you set for them, most of them. And the ones that don't want that, then they just don't make it. But I think there's a lot of similarities. I want to be great. Listen, I didn't take this job to finish second, so I didn't take it to be an okay team. I took it because I really feel deep down that we could be very, very, very successful here. So it's going to take time, just like anything else. It's a hard school to get into academically. It's a great school, and so it's a little higher threshold than Ferrum was to get in, and so there's challenges with it, just like any other place, but. I do believe that once we get it going, I think we'll have a lot of success.
Yeah, and Virginia's really building a number. I think you're the 8th Division III program now. Is that right?
Probably something like something close to that. Yeah.
Because we have maybe it's 7 because we have one NAIA as well.
Right. Yep.
But
there's Averett, Ferrum, Roanoke, Emory Henry. Southern Virginia, Washington Lee, Shenandoah. I don't know if I said them or not, but I think that 7. So that's pretty phenomenal. And Apprentice is technically Division III. They can be Division III, but they don't compete in the Division III. So, yeah, it's great.
Well, so you guys can you have natural rivalries right up the street, which a lot of programs don't have, and that's really for our sport in Virginia to build that Division III model so that we can get our best kids staying in state, whether they go Division I, Division III, NAIA club. We really are building some pretty cool things in the Commonwealth. So now we talked about, why go, and you talked about your vision for the program. So in that, how do you build a culture, and what's your vision for the culture at Roanoke College? I know that leadership is a big thing for you. It always has been. That was sold to you in your time at Edinboro, but what's the culture that you want to build there?
I want guys that are passionate about what we do. I think that's, I love guys who, it's not always the guy who wins the Virginia State title, right? Sometimes guys are just better and more developed at that age. And I want guys who are passionate about wrestling. I think that's really important because, it doesn't matter how good you are, to a certain extent, because wrestling's hard, right? And in college it gets even harder. So I think there's going to be some dark times. There's going to be time I can remember as a freshman, I tried to quit, my freshman year, and luckily I had a coach who believed in me, Tim Flynn, and frankly didn't allow me to quit, and so that's our job as coaches to help kids push through that. But I think the kids who are really passionate about it, that really deep down love the sport, they get through that tough time, and then they get better. They're better because of it, So it's similar in any place, I want guys who are passionate about it, guys who are going to work really hard and do the right things off the mat, that are humble, they want guys that don't feel like they come in, they know it all, and they're humble, they're hungry to learn. I think those things are important, but we have a set of core values as a team, and that come directly from me, that things that I believe that will make you successful, and so I think that we're going to make the guys follow those, and I think the great thing about Roanoke College is its reputation stuff. It kind of recruits itself, to be honest with you. So
that's amazing. So you talked about Roanoke College academically. You talked about it socially. You talked about the area around it. And I'm guessing from a perspective of a Virginia college coach, when I'm trying to sell a kid and saying, hey, you need to go wrestle for Coach Yetzer at Roanoke College, what are specifics? You talked about hard work, you talked about toughness, you talked about love of the sport. Are those the main things that you're looking for in a recruit?
Yeah, obviously I want guys that can wrestle too. You got to have guys who have a certain level of athleticism, and I'm not naive. I know not everybody we're going to get is going to be a national champ. It's not the card. There's only 10 happy guys at the end of the year. The 10 national champs. So, but guys that are willing to work, and guys that I don't care if you never win a match. You're going to be on time. You're going to work hard. You're going to be selfless. You give the team. I think it's one thing I've learned as a coach over time. How important it is to get guys who are selfless, guys that want to buy in, that want to, they're about team first. That's really important. Even though we're not, obviously, it's not technically a team sport, it's an individual sport. There's a lot of team aspects to it, which I think are really important. So, then obviously guys that love competition. One thing that I think we did a good job of here early on at Ferrum is we bred competition in the room, in the classroom. We have more guys fighting, to be honest with you, because they were arguing, well, yeah, you had the higher GPA, but I took harder classes, and that made me proud. That happened like last year. One guy was really ticked off because like this BS. I'm taking 21 credit hours. He's got a higher GPA, so he's in the top 10 list higher than I am. But I think that's important. You got to breed that competitiveness. Because listen, I tell guys all the time, you go out and you start applying for jobs, and I know because I've been on the receiving end. I've been offered jobs and not offered jobs. But when you go out for a job, if it's a good job, it's a job worth going for, then you're not going to be the only one competing for that job. It's going to be, what's going to set you apart, right? So you got to learn how to compete. You got to learn how to set yourself apart, and so those are the things. It's competitiveness is a huge part of it. And I think the guys we get, I think it's one of the first things I look for. I like guys who want to compete, you're passionate about it.
Well, we're so happy to have you. Moving on to Roanoke. In terms of as a high school coach, youth coaches, community members, whether they be in Roanoke, Northern Virginia, Southwest, Southeast Virginia, Central Virginia, what can we be doing as a wrestling community for the benefit of you and the college coaches in Virginia to make sure that our programs stay and our programs are, moving towards the top of the mountain?
I think there's two big things that stand out. One is honest assessment. If I call a coach, or I called you before, Brian, like, hey, what's up with this kid? And then, is he a good kid? Is this, that? The quickest way to lose, I guess, a college coach like trusting you is you give him a line of like, hey, this guy's, you kind of cover up the truth, and I love guys who are honest. Whenever I talk to a high school coach, I always tell them first and foremost, like, this stays between us. So just be honest. Like, I got to know what I'm getting. If he's not a good kid, then it's nothing personal. Like, but I've been burned before. Like, oh, this kid's a great kid. I bring him in, and he's not a good kid at all. And then that's a hard thing. And you have to deal with all that. But I think that's the first part, and the second part is really advocating for your kid honestly, advocating for your kid, if and helping them with the process, and not just be, when you look at the financial aid numbers, like not let a coach kind of, say, lie about it or twist the numbers around a little bit and just be honest with them. And I think the kid really appreciated it because the kid obviously trusts the high school kids coach more than the college coach because, we're selling them on a vision. We don't really know them that well. It's kind of a blind trust a little bit, and a high school coach has that relationship with them. And so I think that's really important to have. If you have a kid that, hey, man, I do think this kid could be good, be an asset to your program, reaching out. Because obviously, I can tell you at Ferrum College, we recruited a lot of kids. We had to recruit a lot of kids to get a few. So we miss kids all the time. It's just the way it goes. It's never personal, generally. And so it's good to hear from high school coaches who, have the backstory on the kid as well too. So I think just being honest with college coaches and then also advocating for your kid and trying to kind of push them on a program you think would be a good fit for them.
Well, I know we have a lot of wrestlers in Virginia who are looking for college places, and
right.
Obviously your track record speaks for itself. And we're really
appreciate that
we're able to keep you in Virginia, start a new program and building that family in our Commonwealth. So, Coach Yetzer, thank you so much for being a part of these quarantine conversations.
Yeah,
get you on later.
How you doing? How you doing, Brian? You doing all right, man?
Yeah.
I enjoyed your tweets, man. I enjoyed your tweets with your wife. Your wife was real happy that you were doing the NCAA announcement.
I'm fortunate to still be in the house. I was talking to a coach earlier today, and 24 years I've been coaching, and 23 of those years I've been married. And I think, I've been home more in these last 3 weeks than I have in all those 24 years. So
God bless her, man.
Yeah. God bless her.
Yes, that's what I mean.
But yeah, things are good. Things are good. Starting that distance learning and trying to figure out how to do that, but all is well.
Yeah. Amen, man. That's good. Good. Yep. Good deal.
Well, you're a blessing to our state, and we're looking
to
seeing some great things from the Maroons here coming up in the next year and a half, 2 years.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks. So do I. I hope so too.
Yeah. Cool. Well, good luck to you guys on the house hunt, and we'll be in touch.
Appreciate it, Brian. Talk to you soon, brother.
Thanks. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Bye-bye.